We really advanced the notion that creativity, design, and innovation should be part of the toolkit for us to face down our challenges of the 21st century. We're living in vexing times in many ways. Here we are in Cape Town in the throes of a serious water shortage. And of course, these kinds of pressing societal issues will not go unnoticed at Design Indaba, and some of these issues will even be addressed from the stage with getting some of the world's leading innovators to also bring their ideas and thoughts to bear on our current reality. So sure, we want to celebrate fashion, but we also want to be able to celebrate design for social impact. So I think what Design Indaba does, it's a very broad church that celebrates the best of design in all of its formats. I think, every single year Design Indaba is a renewal. So we don't have a formula. Renewing the cast every single year, you're completely freshening up the entire platform because you get completely original ideas from the best exponents of creativity and design from across 6 continents and across various age groups. We're not even ageist. There's a teenager speaking this year, and there's a 70-something speaking this year, and every decade in between. So I think, built into the way Design Indaba is curated and put on, there's no 2 years that's the same. The entire offering is renewed from year to year. Finding speakers is a mixture of a bit of art and some science, and one of the most amazing gifts we have, given our 23-year heritage, is this wonderful global network. So when somebody speaks from Tokyo and someone else speaks from Santiago, Chile, and this may well be an architect, and that may be a tech designer, it's amazing how different people operating in different time zones, in maybe even different disciplines, seem to be both inspired by a similar kind of need and a similar kind of driver. And I think one of the nicest things is to see how beautifully connected we are. And there's almost like a kind of creative consciousness in the world. And it's wonderful to see that kind of emerge. We've just loved moving to Artscape because you've got this wonderful opera house with rotating stages, orchestral pits, pulleys, levers, trapdoors, lifts. And we use all of the mod cons and all of the tricks in order to be able to create something which is immersive, theatrical, and performative. And we were so conscious that maybe design, in being outed in such a way, could also run the risk of becoming a bit of a bubble and a bit of the new generic. So we needing to find ways to make the event weirder and find ways to extend the scope of what a conference can be. So what we're starting to do right now is that you've got a conference which is quite cerebral, and we extend into a festival out on the piazza, which becomes quite visceral. So we're trying to do a full 360-degree sensorial journey around an idea. And you should come out and see these beautiful installations from what are we doing in terms of food and taste, from a Baptist Passon pop-up restaurant to a wonderful installation with Henry Visser and looking at the future of food, from 3D printing of food, all the way through to addressing the crisis du jour, which is the lack of water. And so there's a whole installation about waterless cooking, which we're going to be doing there. So it's so wonderful that our job is not just to share in terms of thoughts. We should activate these thoughts and make them very, very real, which is what Nightscape is all about. We should be able to utilize this as a place to become an impetus for making things happen. So we say 3 days of talking, 362 days of doing. And there are lots of projects at the conference and at Nightscape which are also going to leave the room and leave the piazza and settle on the high street and settle in community. This is a wonderful opportunity, not just to share ideas, but to also be an incubator for ideas and to also start new projects. We did that famously last year with the Arch for Arch, this wonderful project to celebrate the life of Archbishop Tutu and the Constitution of South Africa. And it's not often when a conference talk becomes a permanent legacy project on the oldest avenue in South Africa. And that perhaps is probably quite emblematic of this whole idea of a return on impact. It's pointless just to have soapbox-oriented talk shops. It has to convert from talking to doing. And Design Indaba is really all about that, the intersection of ideas and action.